Once upon a time, in the vibrant African village of Aoke, a place bustling with traditions, laughter, and community gatherings, lived a young man named Kabo. Aoki was not just a village, it was a world unto itself, where the sounds of drums echoed through the air and the rich aroma of traditional dishes wafted from every home. Here, a man's worth was not measured by his kindness or wisdom, but by the strength and definition of his muscles. A muscular physique was the golden ticket to admiration, love, and, most importantly, respect. Kabo was different. Unlike his peers, he was neither muscular nor considered attractive by the village standards. As a child, Kabo had the same hopes and dreams as any other boy in Aoki. He laughed, played, and ran through the fields with his friends. But as the years passed, Kabo developed a peculiar love for food. He could eat more than anyone else in the village, and it soon became apparent that no portion was too large for Kabo. He was known to finish entire meals faster than it took others to say thank you. By the time he reached adulthood, Kabo was the heaviest man in Ayok. His love for food had transformed him into a figure of ridicule and scorn. The women of Ayok, who once giggled at his jokes, now turned their heads in disdain. Kabo felt the sting of rejection every time he walked through the market square, where whispers followed him like shadows. His weight had become his identity, and his heart ached with loneliness. Kabo's father, Mr. Shun, was a man of tradition and deep-rooted concern for his family's honor. With all of Kabo's younger brothers married and settled, Mr. Shun worried incessantly about his eldest son. "A man without a wife is like a river without water," he often said, hoping to inspire Kabo to change his ways. One day, Mr. Shun heard of Tana, the daughter of an old friend who had just returned to the village after living in the city. She was beautiful, educated, and most importantly, unmarried. Mr. Shun saw this as a divine opportunity. Perhaps Tana will see past Kabo's appearance and fall in love with the kind heart that beats beneath, he mused. Arrangements were made for Tana to visit their home and meet Kabo. The news filled Kabo with hope and excitement. He groomed himself meticulously, rehearsing every possible conversation in his mind. Could this be the day my life changes forever? He wondered. The day of Tana's visit arrived with the golden rays of the sun, casting a warm glow over Aoke. Kabo's heart raced with anticipation as he watched her approach. She was everything he had hoped for and more. But as Tana stepped into their home and laid eyes on Kabo, her expression shifted from curiosity to disappointment. Her dreams of marrying a strong and muscular man were dashed in an instant. "I cannot marry this mountain of a man," she declared, her words cutting through the air like a knife. Without another word, Tana turned on her heels and left, leaving Kabo standing there, crushed and humiliated. His dreams, once so vibrant, lay shattered at his feet. Kabo retreated to his room, where he spent days locked away from the world. He wept, not just for the lost opportunity, but for every moment of rejection he had ever faced. "I will grow old alone," he lamented, unwanted and unloved. But despair soon gave way to determination. Kabo refused to accept a life of loneliness. There must be a way, he thought. He remembered the tales of the mystical river goddess, a deity said to possess the power to grant wishes and alter destinies. Her presence was said to be felt at the river that wound through the village, its waters shimmering with magic and mystery. Kabo decided to seek her help. He left his home and journeyed through the village until he reached the river's edge. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, as Kabo called out with all his heart, "Great river goddess, hear my plea and have mercy on me." The river responded with a gentle ripple, and from its depths emerged the river goddess herself. She was a vision of beauty, with skin that shimmered like water and eyes that held the wisdom of ages. "What troubles you, young man?" she inquired, her voice as soothing as a lullaby. Kabo fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "Great goddess," he began, "I am mocked and shunned for my size. The women in my village do not see me as a man, but as an object of scorn. I beg you to make me fit and handsome, so I may find love and companionship." The river goddess listened with compassion. "My dear, true beauty lies within," she advised. "But if it is transformation you seek, I can grant you this wish. Yet remember, all magic comes at a price." The river goddess promised Kabo that by the next market day, he would find a woman who would love him for who he truly was. Her words were meant to bring him peace, but Kabo's heart had grown bitter with the desire for revenge against those who had hurt him. "Make them suffer as I have suffered," Kabo demanded. "Let the women who ridiculed me face the consequences of their cruelty." The river goddess paused, sensing the darkness in Kabo's heart. "It is a dangerous path you choose," she warned. But Kabo's mind was set, and the goddess reluctantly granted his wish. The next morning, Aoki awoke to chaos. The women of the village found themselves transformed. Their femininity had vanished overnight. Panic ensued as they rushed to the village juju priest, a man revered for his spiritual insight and knowledge of the supernatural. The juju priest consulted his oracle and delivered shocking news. "It is Kabo," he announced. "His wish for vengeance has stripped you of your womanhood. To reverse this curse, every woman must sleep with Kabo. Only then will your femininity be restored." A wave of disbelief and anger swept through the crowd. The women, once so proud and confident, now faced an unimaginable dilemma. The juju priest's words were final, and they had no choice but to comply. One by one, the women lined up outside Kabo's hut. They felt a strange compulsion, an inexplicable attraction to the very man they had once scorned. Inside his home, Kabo reveled in his newfound power. The women were drawn to him like moths to a flame, their desires awakened by a magic they could not resist. For Kabo, this was a dream come true. He basked in the attention and adoration he had longed for all his life. The village had become his domain, and he was its king. But the spell that bound the women to Kabo was not one of love, but of compulsion. Their husbands, desperate to restore their families, sought the help of the juju priest once more. "There must be a way to break this curse," they pleaded. "Our homes are broken, and our hearts are heavy." The juju priest, moved by their plight, revealed a solution. "Take this enchanted pot," he instructed, handing them a small ancient vessel. "Sprinkle its contents around Kabo's hut while he sleeps, and recite the counter curse I will teach you. This will break the spell and return your wives to you." That night, under the cover of darkness, the husbands crept into Kabo's compound. They scattered the enchanted powder and whispered the counter curse as instructed. As the last words were spoken, a change swept through the air. Inside the hut, the women awoke from their trance, their senses returning to them. Realization dawned on their faces as they hurried back to their husbands, filled with remorse and relief. The spell was broken, and the village of Aoke rejoiced as families were reunited. The husbands and wives embraced, grateful for the end of their nightmare. When Kabo awoke, he found himself alone. The enchantment had lifted, and the women were no longer under his thrall. Confused and alone, he realized that his moment of vengeance had cost him dearly. With a heavy heart, Kabo returned to the river, hoping for guidance from the river goddess. But she did not appear. The waters remained still, reflecting the sky's indifference to his pleas. In time, Kabo understood the lesson the river goddess had tried to teach him. His wish for revenge had been a poison, blinding him to the true gift of self-acceptance and love. The path he had chosen led to isolation, not happiness. And so, Kabo lived out his days as a reminder to the village of Aoke of the dangers of envy, and the pursuit of superficial beauty. The tale of Kabo became a cautionary legend, passed down through generations, teaching that true fulfillment comes from within. Kabo's story echoes the wisdom found in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4:23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
Echoes of the drums dancing in the light, underneath the stars where the story is weaved. Feel the pulse of life in the rhythms we believe. Rhythms of the earth beat through the night. Echoes of the drums dancing in the light, underneath the stars where the stories weave. Feel the pulse of life in the rhythms we believe. Footsteps in the sand follow the drums call. In the circle of life we rise and fall. Through the firelight glow with the moon up high, songs of our ancestors reach the sky. Rhythms of the earth beat through the night. Echoes of the drums dancing in the light, underneath the stars where the stories weave. Feel the pulse of life in the rhythms we believe. Of the drum, we're bound as one in the dance of the ages till the day is done. Feel the heartbeat strong, let the spirit sing. In the rhythm of the land, hear the voices ring. Rhythms of the earth beat through the night. Echoes of the drums dancing in the light, underneath the stars where the stories weave. Feel the pulse of life in the rhythms we believe.